took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rain, snow, sleet. Every day I wear my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I've never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I got tired of complaining. I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas, this for the that hate us, huh? I make a lot of new money, huh? When it's not savers, you be liking my flavor, huh? I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this, I never switch, I never switch.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the second year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Luck. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end.
Let's go. Go.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll fake it. Now Love. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line. On the jet sweep, this is Bryant. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
From the 22, Luck. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, first and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, here's Watson. On the right side, this is Miller. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throw left side, complete to QT. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize.
Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
This is Hines. They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Love. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DJ Reader with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure.
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And that time, the tackle by Malik Hooker.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. Watson now to throw. Going deep and that's caught inside the 35. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. On 2nd and 7, Luck.
They try to quick hitter in.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Whitney merciless. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Hey, Haywood!
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The throw by Luck complete to his tight end, Ebron. And some room to roam now. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
A gain of 59 yards.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Throw left side complete. It's Hines. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
At the 9.
You draw quarters.
Get in the way. Alert 3, alert 3.
11.
There we go, 37's the Mike. Mike 30.
Buzz.
That's right, here we go. There we go, 37.
To throw again on 2nd down. Luck. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Deion Kane. His first touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. When they're under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Watson's pass. A gain of 14 yards.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Justin Houston. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw, Watson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The free safety, Malik Hooker, there in coverage. So they give it up just on their side of midfield. And, yeah, I mean, a surprising decision there to go for that.
Must have a lot of confidence in his defense. Must feel like, hey, we're in great shape here because our defense can hold them because they're really outside of field goal range now. All right, the opposite team. So if you hold them here, you haven't given up any points. You may give up a punt and you're pinned down a little bit, but must have thought it was an okay spot to go for it and decided to be aggressive.
Now Love. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Texans take over first and 10.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Malik Hooker, and he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
27-yard line.
240. 11B.
After the interception, it's Love. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. Ended up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Vinatieri's kick is good. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
This will be fielded at the 8. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. You got 54. You got tape. Alert.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
I got you. Let's go.
Throwing again is Watson. caught. Left side, Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. This is caught. That one goes for 24 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Play action. It's locked. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Got an open man. That's Campbell. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Locke. He's going to let this go end zone for Hilton. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by the rookie from Temple, Rocky Sin. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Mack. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kiki QT. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. To try again after the sack. Luck, and this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dez Bryant, 84 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Check this is it. Alert. 19. Watch the screen. Watch the sign up.
Now a first down throw. Watson. Got an open man. It's QT. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 9 now. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
After the interception, here's Watson. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Just three.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Watson on first down. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Watson with a give to Miller. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Jabal Sheard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Third and long, it's Love. Looking deep for Hilton. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. On first down, it's Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Love. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And that one results in 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Lock. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Whitney merciless in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
11B.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Luck is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
On 1st down, Watson. Completion left side to Miller. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Watson going to give this one to Miller. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the 1st down marker. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. To the right side and complete to Thomas. A good pickup there at 22.
It's a gain of 22 yards.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Watson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Kenny Moore that time there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining.
Let's go.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
What is that? 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Go. 37 to Mike. Mike 37.
He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They run with Hines, trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Benardrick McKinney, a first-time Pro Bowler a season ago, in on the tackle there. The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Mexico. Check 3. 12.
Hey, Charlie.
Now it's Luck. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Get ready.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there.
Let's go. Now the wolf. 37. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Go, go.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and taken down. And a penalty flag is going to come out on top of it. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game.
Look out. Ready. Gotcha, boy. 12. And go 37 to Mike. Mike 30.
Hey, orbit.
Luck. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Colts, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.